Scooby and Ryan back with the NBA playoffs. Cleveland down 3-1, playing for their playoff lives against the Pacers, Game 5. But Tyrese Halliburton had something to say about them. Halliburton's second quarter, Pacers down 19, but Tyrese nails it. 3 right there. He's just getting started. A couple minutes later, they're down 10. Tyrese, deep 3. You know when he's hitting from there.
What the hell?
Exactly.
What the Halliburton?
And look at this. Another one right here. They cut it to a 6-point game. Tyrese is like, oh, I'm not done. I'm not done. 30 seconds later, another 3 right there.
Practice. Straight up practice.
Just straight up practice indeed. And then from the logo, connecting. First Pacers player with 5 made 3-pointers in a playoff quarter in the last 25 postseasons. But the Pacers still down 4 at half. So fourth quarter, they're up 4. Ty Jerome rejected by Halliburton. You didn't know he could play D like that.
No,
brings it up court, scores, plus the foul. Finished with 31 points, 8 assists, 6 boards. Pacers win. They're moving on to the East Finals. Here's Tyrese on his team.
We're different than every other team in the NBA. You know, we don't just have one guy who scores all the points, or you know, I think we defeat teams in different ways. We move the ball. The ball is flying. We got a lot of different guys making shots, making plays. You know, I had a great game, but, you know, I think a big part of that was guys were finding me, putting me in the right spots. We knew they were going to throw a punch. You know, we talked about that. We knew that they were going to, you know, throw a haymaker there, but I thought we weathered the storm the right way and got going from there. So really proud of our effort and, you know, proud of this group.
And they're proud of you. In the biggest moments, Tyrese Halliburton shows up. His second series clincher with 5 or more 3-pointers, tying Reggie Miller for the most such games in franchise history. Halliburton also did it last season in Game 7 against the Knicks.
All right, Ryan, how about this Game 5? The Golden State Warriors will be on the road against Minnesota for Game 5. The Warriors trailed 3-1 right now in the series, and they will try to keep their season alive without Steph Curry, who's still recovering from a hamstring injury that he suffered in Game 1. We now welcome in ESPN NBA analyst Danny Green back with us here on SportsCenter. Danny, the Warriors said Steph will be reevaluated after 1 week when he sustained his injury, and now 7 days later, Curry has officially been ruled out. Hamstrings, they're a tricky injury. How, if at all, can the Warriors survive Game 5 without him to force a Game 6?
I don't think they do. That's the answer. But it's going to take a lot from everybody. You know, it's going to take a lot of prayer, but a lot of Jimmy Butler. We need to see, you know, playoff Jimmy that we see in the Miami Heat uniform and a Golden State Warriors uniform. We're going to need to see Podziemski step up. Kuminga's been playing well. We're going to need that energy from him. Draymond, he's got to keep a cool head and not get in foul trouble, not get technicals, and play really good defense. So it's going to take a collective effort. It's not impossible, but it is very slim and unlikely to me for them to go into that Minnesota building and beat the Minnesota Timberwolves with a Stephless team. But it is very possible. So anything can happen any night in the NBA, in any sport really. But it's going to take a lot of efforts from everybody all over the floor. And I don't know if Jimmy has that type of energy. As we seen last game, his aggression was nowhere near it was where it needed to be for them to win a ball game.
Yeah, anything is most definitely possible. Kevin Garnett said that. He's a former Celtics. And speaking of Celtics, we have more injury news with they don't have Jayson Tatum. And after Tatum underwent surgery with a ruptured Achilles today, the Celtics are going to have to be without him, down 3-1 and having to win in Game 5. How can they overcome the loss of their star player?
This is a tough one, man, and I send my prayers and thoughts to the families of Jayson Tatum and the Celtics, you know, organization, but mostly the Tatum family, because it's a tough injury to end your season on. But this Boston team has more of a chance than the Golden State team. I do believe that they can make it happen because they have so much talent. They have a team that can get hot and kill you in many different ways. A flurry of threes. They have Peyton Pritchard. They have Drew Holiday. They have Porzingis. But those guys do have to step up. They're going to need more from those guys. Derek White's got to be great consistently. They're going to need more from Drew Holiday, Porzingis especially, Peyton Pritchard as well. But this team can do it, and Jaylen Brown has to be the leader. You know, he's been the longest tenured Celtic, and he's the guy that they pay the big bucks to. You got to show them why you were Finals MVP or Eastern Conference Finals MVP last year, or both of them anyway. So he is very much capable of leading this team to getting a W. I don't know if they win the series, but they can definitely win one more game at home in Boston.
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks, Danny. We appreciate your insight.
Appreciate you,
Warriors,
brother.
Yeah, my guy. Warriors and Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern. Minnesota leads that series